congratulations on getting your bill passed.
Thank you, Al. This is a real first step, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure it will help the farm industry as well.
I hope so.
And welcome. I'm Coit, the director of the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management. And welcome. Thank you, Michael Merner, our host here today. And welcome to Governor Chafee, Senator Sosnowski, Representative Walsh, Senator Rumsey, Town Council President Tom Gentz, Joe Carney from Roger Williams University, and all of the other guests and folks assembled here today. We are here today to celebrate and herald a new law that's good for the environment, that's good for the economy, and this is one of those occasions where we actually have the people who really deserve credit for this here today. So I'd like to just turn it over to our first speaker. Governor Chafee's always been a supporter of conservation, of recycling, of reusing waste, and he introduced one of the bills that was led to this new law. We had two different versions, and through some very skillful leadership, we reached a compromise, and that's why we're here today. So, Governor.
Officials here and everybody interested in conservation, as Janet said, good for the economy and good for our environment. Those are two good things. And as mayor, we had in Warwick, we always regretted sending our yard waste and clippings to the landfill because we pay the tipping fees. So we got a tub grinder, we got a hedgerow turner, bought the necessary equipment. I think it was about $300,000, which is a lot of money, but we quickly made that back in saving on tipping fees. So it's great, Michael, to see all the yard waste here and clippings and not going to the landfill, saving Charlestown residents those tipping fees. But this bill is expanding those two good things, into food scraps. And so that's even another step forward for our economy and for the towns in saving on their tipping fees, and good for the environment, requiring the restaurateurs and everybody to separate their food scraps out. It makes so much sense. And I don't know, part of the bill also says it doesn't have to come here to be recycled. You can also use them to feed your hogs and other livestock to thrive on that kind of stuff. So two good bills. Look forward to two House and Senate bill. Look forward to signing them, and thanks for being here and have a great weekend.
She's really been the leading voice for the farming community, for agriculture, for fishing community in the Senate. And truly, these kinds of things, they wend a curious path through till they get to the governor's desk. But for the skilled leadership of Senator Sosnowski, the chair of the Environment Committee, we would not be here celebrating this today. So thank you.
Well, it is a privilege to serve as the chair of the Environment and Agriculture Committee in the Senate, in part because our purview includes areas that I am passionate about, such as protecting the environment and fostering a strong agricultural sector. Another reason why it's such a great committee to work with is because so many innovative initiatives come through our committee, from renewable energy to seafood marketing. The legislation we are celebrating today is one of those innovative proposals that will benefit our state in many ways. It will help the environment. Anabolic digestion reduces greenhouse gases by recycling organic waste and turning it into clean energy and soil products. And it prolongs the life of the landfill and reuses a resource that otherwise would go to waste. And as the governor said, it also benefits farmers who can use the fresh scraps for animal feed. So I want to thank the prime sponsors of this legislation. Senator Rumsey embraced the issue, was passionate about seeing it through to enactment, and the Senate worked with Senator Rumsey, stakeholders and state agencies, and addressed their concerns, such as providing a fair pricing initiative to ensure there won't be an added cost to food generators. Representative Walsh was equally passionate about the legislation in the House and effectively promoted its merits. So I want to thank Governor Chafee for signing the bill into law. Governor Chafee is carrying on the strong Chafee tradition of environmental stewardship, and our state is reaping those benefits. So thank you. Thank you for your
What better place to hold this bill signing than Earth Care Farm, the only composting facility we have in the state right now. But we are going to have many of them. And I have to recognize Mike Merner, because I've known Mike for over 25 years, and I think it's been over 25 years since he started this farm. and recognized, I think he was a visionary in recognizing the importance of food scraps and recycling them into this beautiful compost. So, Mike, you deserve full credit. And then I think of Greg Garrett, who is here, and Greg was the one who first educated me on composting and wanted me to go to California a couple years ago to learn about it, but I said, I think I can read about it and talk to Greg. And Greg then got me to speak at the composting conference in March of this year, and I learned a lot more in just listening to everyone else. But this bill, I think Sue has said, our Senator Sosnowski has said, all the stuff this bill does creates jobs, and we can look right over here at this truck, the compost plant, and we have two people here from the compost plant, I can't see right now, who are actually starting a business, and they have collected in the last several months, maybe 6 months, they have collected 175 tons of food scraps in a few months. So there's a lot of it out there. We had to collaborate and cooperate and bring all this stuff together, and in this sausage mix that we did, it's a good bill, but I wish it had been a little bit better. And the amount of food waste in this country, it's astronomical. 25% of what goes to the landfill, food residuals. That's unacceptable. People in this country do not have enough to eat, and we have all of this food waste. But the least we can do is to recycle that food waste, to finish that cradle-to-cradle cycle that's so important. Because growing food, as Al Betancourt and the Farm Bureau will say, is really labor-intensive, but it also strains our resources. So we have to do our best to begin to recycle those food scraps. And notice I didn't say waste, I say food scraps, because they are not waste. This is what we can produce from them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here today to celebrate the enactment of this bill. I'm proud to call this bill one of the most positive, innovative accomplishments of this year's legislative session. And I want to thank Representative Walsh, who asked me to sponsor the Senate version of the bill. The chairwoman of the Senate Environment and Agriculture Committee, Senator Sosnowski, thank you very much for your leadership and support. And thank you to my fellow senators on the Environment and Agriculture Committee. And thank you to the House Environment and Natural Resources Committee Chairman, Art Handy and his committee, the Senate and House leaders, the Department of Environmental Management, and all the advocates who supported this legislation, and Governor Chafee for his support for signing this bill. Thank you very much.
The Earth Care Farm is a sustainable agricultural farm and composting operation. Earth Care Farms is unique as a composter based on Mike Merner. We just recognized him, the owner, and John Barth. John, where are you? Raise your hand. The manager of Earth Care Farms. In touring the farm and composting operation, John demonstrated how they are a good neighbor and a beneficial small business in Charlestown. Earth Care Farms will continue to serve the state of Rhode Island with the legislation that was passed with Senator Cool Rumsey and Representative Walsh's sponsorship in composting food scraps. The food scraps composting will enable the state landfill to continue operating farther into the future because food scraps are no longer sent to the landfill.
It's important for me to mention part of the reason why we receive such great reviews from our students and the Roger Williams University community is because of our kitchen principles. So we make food from scratch, including all of our stocks and sauces and salsas. We promote eating with the ecosystem by purchasing local produce and proteins, and we prepare these products using authentic ingredients in a socially responsible manner. So preparing food in this way for 1,600 plus guests per meal period generates a lot of waste, and most of that waste is organic since we purchase so much raw material and raw produce. And this pre-consumer waste was transported by our employees, by Roger Williams University employees, to the Bristol transfer site itself with our discovery of the compost plant. Nat Harris's company, who is an awesome innovator, also was the founder of the Newport Biodiesel Company, so he's on the forefront and on the curve of all things environmental here in the state. But Nat and his cool and beautiful antique truck are an amazing business, and they have the capacity to take all of our compostable waste and bring it here, where it is turned into nutrient-rich soil that is coveted by our farmers and gardeners. And these are farmers that Roger Williams University purchases from. So this completes the cycle, and this is what's most important. Not only that, but as Senator Sosnowski mentioned, there's an expense that goes along with this. And bringing our scraps here is less expensive than bringing it up the block to the Bristol transfer site. So thank you, Nat, for making it more and Leo for making it the most economical for us as well. This saves the university money on the way we deal with our waste. An environmentally friendly bill such as this one help ensure that we are more socially responsible with disposing of our waste in a sustainable manner for the well-being of our communities and the future.
Thank you all for coming, and thank you for your kind words. We're honored to be selected for the signing of this bill. We feel that this bill has great potential and possibility to really improve Rhode Island from the ground up. The soil is the foundation of our health. But many people have given me kind words. The people who are doing the work I'd like to acknowledge right now. The manager, John Barth, I can't thank enough. His assistant manager, Sam, John handles the whole business. I goes to show you the superabundance we have in nature. This came from one plant in 1977 that didn't cost anything, a friend gave me. And now we have a half an acre of it just because it's planted in good soil, with good care. And I could go on and on about the superabundance in nature with our strawberries, and it's not in books. A lot of what we read in books, we've found better ways to do than the conventional ways due to the health of the soil. So with this bill, I have grandchildren. I see lots of children here, some of my grandchildren. You're making a healthier planet for them by returning this stuff to the earth. Healthier for future generations, and we really need to do that because our society only composts 1% to 2% of our organic matter. So we've got a long way to go, but this bill is a start, and it's very positive. Thank you.
Donna. Walsh. Thank you, Representative Walsh. Good work. Scraps, not waste.
Waste, that's right. Thank you. This is mine? Okay. Gabby, you should get over. Well, I should switch
Right
places.
behind the governor.
Okay.
Senator Sosnowski has a little seniority, so I'll thank her first.
Thank you, Governor.
You have livestock on your farm, or just sheep and stuff?
Oh, they do.
Okay.
They do.
Thank you.
Thank you, very nice.
Have a great weekend.